Every freaking time. Whatever. All right, let me get back over here to chat. What's up, everyone? Can you hear me this time? You should be able to. I'm going to go ahead, though, as if you can. What's up, Megan, Lola, Reagan, Rose, Heather, Lee, Jolly Bridge, Sally Godfrey, April, Reagan. I might have said Reagan, did I? No, I don't think I did. Peter, what's up? Yay, you can hear me. Ah. Awesome. Oh, wait, what? Shoot. Hey, John. Sorry. Took me a while. Took me a minute to see your comment there. For some reason, it was probably because of word fuckery. I don't even have it set for the shit like that, but YouTube's a bitch. It's Saints. What's up, Saints? Zinger. Yoo shoo shoo. What's up? Sassy Nas. Yay. You're lurking. Huh? Hey, Claire. Yeah, I got off to a little bit later of a start than I planned on tonight, Claire. Just been so tired. Oh my God, I've worked so hard this past week. I don't know if I said hi to you or not. I don't remember, Peter. Hi, Peter, if I didn't. Oh, man. Let me see. Oh, that's probably why I can't see. It's gonna make it crazy bright though now. Oh, wait, shoot. Sorry, guys. Let me try and fix it. There we go. That should be better. Can I turn that down? I don't think I can. Shoot. I like to be able to see the screen, but without making me so bright. Okay. I'll just have to work. Well, I don't really know what we're going to talk about today. I thought one thing I want to do is, I don't know, I know she's been going, or Katie's been talking about like her ancestry and shit like crazy. And I think I have one better story anyways. I don't know. I just wanted to share that real quick. I thought maybe other than that. I do. Well, let me do this first, and then I'll bring up the next subject because I have a feeling a lot of people are going to want to talk on that. So, okay. So, and just kind of in reference or whatever, in the sport of fun, I guess, I don't know what you want to put under, but I know she's been talking about her ancestry. Well, after my father passed away, I went searching into our ancestry, and I think I have to sneeze. Okay, no, I don't. So I went looking into my ancestry, and come to find out, my 10th great grandmother has been nicknamed. Where is it? The Mother of New York. She here, I'll share this. It's interesting. It's really interesting. I like it. Shoot, I don't know which view media it is. No. Oh, I get a preview now. Oh my God, that's awesome. Okay, so the Mother of New York. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Catalente Trico. I don't know. But she was born about 1605 in France. I guess she left Amsterdam, Netherlands in 1624, I think. Her husband was that dude. She was one of the very first settlers in the Dutch colony of America and credited as being the first white woman to give birth in the colony, as well as becoming the matriarch for a large family. She was there at the beginning of the city that would become New York. And I thought that was very interesting. Like, she was pretty much like my ninth great grandmother is her daughter, Sarah was her name, and she was rumored to be the first white child born in the New World. That was since disproven though, and she was then credited as being the first white child born in New York, or what is present day New York, I guess. I don't know, or maybe then New Amsterdam. I don't know. But yeah, that was really interesting, I thought. And also, she has, or Sarah, or no, is it Sarah or her mother? It has been estimated that Sarah's offspring numbers, okay, her daughter Sarah, it has been estimated that Sarah's offspring numbers at least 1 million descendants. One of the more famous descendants is Humphrey Bogart. I thought that was so cool. I learned about this a few years ago, though, but I thought that was really cool. There's some pretty interesting stories, too, like, I guess some of Sarah's siblings or whatever, and I think there's one of her husband. Oh, wait, there's one of Sarah. Did I close that out? I think I did. Sarah. Yeah, okay, I closed it out. But when her daughter Sarah had been married and living in, I think, what is today known as Albany, she was out on the farm or something like that. She came back, and there were a bunch of soldiers in the kitchen, and they were just like helping themselves to shit. And, back then food was pretty scarce. So rather than be afraid or whatever of these strange men in her home, she's just pissed off, and she gives them a bunch of shit saying, "I was saving that last bit of food you ate for my fucking kid." Pretty much. I'm sure she didn't say fucking kid, but whatever. I'm picturing my ancestor would have said something like that. And it was a captain. I think it was Peter Minuit is who was standing in her kitchen. I guess he's the dude who bought Manhattan from the Indians. I think I have my history right. I'm not sure. Could be wrong. But yeah. So she ended up pretty much like chasing him and his soldiers out of her kitchen. And when like his ship of supplies came, he gave her a cow, I think, and another parcel of land to help support her child. Yeah, I thought that was interesting. But yeah, that's about all I have. But I don't know. I think it's cooler than her stories. Just saying. Yeah, Lola says it's great you can go back that far. I can only go back that far. Like if I look at it as my 4 grandparents, I can only trace 2 of them back kind of far. The other 2 pretty much are dead ends once I hit the 1800s, which is weird. But I guess it's really not all that weird, especially because like the one of the lines, it's the Riley and the Costello. Those are the dead ends, and that's because I can trace them back to when they arrived in America. After that, or before that, though, and I think it was Wales and in Ireland, can't really trace them there anywhere else. And I even tried the Worldly or whatever subscription, and even they didn't have anything. Apparently, these countries like Ireland and Wales, they didn't really keep very meticulous records like the Netherlands did, or England or whatever. I was told that if I was really serious about it, I could, look at the county they were from or whatever and call around to local parishes, because apparently the Catholic Church was really good at keeping records like baptism and marriage and death and shit like that, whereas the municipalities just not so much. So the other grandparent, though, I could trace back. I trace them back even farther to like almost the 1400s. It's like another language though back then. I don't even know. And it's everything's like Dutch. Dutch. I guess like back then there was a Spanish area of the Netherlands. That's where apparently like several of my ancestors are from. But yeah, other than that, it's Dutch or France, whatever. Okay, so I haven't even really looked at the chat yet, but I'm going to ask. I'm going to ask you guys for a small favor. So, I have been hearing some shit lately, and I don't want to. No offense, I don't want to take people's word for it. I want to see or hear things for myself. So, I don't care. I don't feel we should discuss it now. Okay. So, because I don't want to get chat, going at each other. But here's what I would like. I don't care who you support or what the deal is or whatever. If you know of a clip or of an instance of any fuckery or bullshit going on between Roadhog, and you have a link and a timestamp, could you please get that to me somehow? You can send it to me through Twitter, email, Facebook if we're friends. I don't know if we're, whatever. I don't care how. But there's a lot of streams between the two of them, especially like there's been like more than one stream a day in some cases. And then then other people are making streams too, so there's a lot of streams, and I only have like 2 days off from work. So I'm not going to have the time to just, sift through things. But I do now at this point, I want to know more about what's going on. So, and I'm going to say, I did watch one video today that I thought really fucking hit it, just nailed it down. I thought it was phenomenal. And that's Not Another Housewife, I think was her name. Let me put a link to the video in the description. But I watched her video on it, and I think it just hit the nail right ahead. I think she got it down. I think it was a great video. I think it was informed. I think it was sensible, whatever. I think it was really good. Let me see. Yep, Not Another Housewife. There it is. The beef has gone too far. And she's right, too. She's like right. And I think there's like only one thing in there I just kind of disagree on. And it doesn't even have to do with this. It's just me being me, But everything I just thought was fucking right on point, I thought. Okay, so here's the link to the video. Oh, you're going to tell me to go watch that first? Thank you. So, Not Another Housewife video. Yeah, and I think she had a good point, though, too. I think the reason why a lot of people just haven't gotten super, super involved or whatever is because it's a disagreement between two men. And I almost wonder if, I don't think that, I have no doubt that they're each very sincere in their arguments with each other. But I almost kind of wonder if, just a little bit is also for show, I don't think that that's why they're fighting. They're fighting because they're fighting, But I almost wonder if there's a bit of a performance to their fighting. Because let's face it, these are two dudes in a community full of mostly women, It's just their way of peacocking. I don't mean peacocking like they actually want to you know what I mean? It's guys, they just like to impress people. So that's how I mean it. Margot, I've seen other videos by her, and it's, I mean, I've disagreed with her on things, but it's been pleasant for me to disagree with her, I think, because it's, I don't get the impression that when we do disagree, or when, I don't get the impression that her stance on things is like hugely emotion driven. So it's been pleasant disagreeing with her. Peacock is a nicer way of saying dick measuring. Speaking of dick measuring, I noticed, is it still the case? Let me check here before I open my mouth here and insert foot. Let me see. Is it still the case? Come on. Oh, maybe not. Okay. I take that back. I think I do take it back. Yeah, I could. I guess I take it back. Okay. Because I was going to say that I noticed, like, the past few times I've been live, Unirock just would suddenly seem to go live or whatever. And I was coming on at 11:40 there, and it said that he was live. And I was like, why is he always, and it said that he just like did a test live or something, I thought. Yeah, test live Q and something, I don't know. But I thought, well, that's weird to do a test live at almost midnight, you know. But my bad. I guess it's not a dick measuring contest. All right, what am I missing? Yeah, speaking of dick measuring. I also want to add to it, like, I'm not, like, all right, one thing I really wholeheartely agree with not another housewife on is the whole Mrs. Roadhog thing. Because I'll tell you right now, if my man was being dragged publicly by anyone for any reason, I don't care what the reason, any reason, there's no way in hell I'm going to come and speak out against him. In fact, I'm going to do the opposite. I don't care how wrong he is. I'll be right there fighting whoever. But the second he and I get alone, I'm going to smack the shit out of him. Okay. I'm sorry. But so I completely agree with that. I would not expect anything other than what I'm seeing from Mrs. Roadhog. If she were anything of the kind of partner that I am, or that I would be, I would expect no different than what I'm seeing from her. So, you can say that that's wrong. You may be correct. Maybe it is wrong. Maybe I have no doubt that I could very well be 100% wrong if that's what I'm doing in similar shoes. It doesn't matter though. It doesn't change anything. That's just how it's going to go. So, thank you, Puertorific. And also too, like, because I saw someone make a comment about T-Spares and whatever, Ben, you're entitled to your opinion and everything on her. I don't know. But I'm not going to be coming at her. I'm not interested in anything she's done or whatever. I got no problem with T-Spares. I really don't. Like, and throughout, like, for as long as she's been around, I've liked her. There's only one kind of issue I had with her months ago, and I already stated what that was. But either way, I don't see I see her being back to the girl I met on YouTube way back when, So I don't give a shit. But and I understand what it's like too. When you get sucked into these, I don't know, fights or wars or battles or whatever, if you find yourself landing on one side, I don't know. I'm not faulting anyone for getting involved. I'm not. But it's just, there is some toxicity, I guess, I'm seeing here. And I'm not coming after anyone, but there's a couple of things I think I'm going to want to comment on. But before I do, I want the full backstory. I want the context. I want whatever it is I'm hearing that is being said or done, I want to find where it's being said or done and then hear how and why it's being said and done. So anything less than that, I think, would just be irresponsible. Yes, I've been paying attention to Katie. I haven't been paying a lot of attention to her, Aaron Lee, because I've been working. I haven't been paying attention to shit, to be honest. And I don't think she's been all that active either the past weeks. Wasn't she sick or something? Sinus infection or some shit? I don't know. So I want to say that she's just coming back from that or something. So there hasn't been a whole lot going on there, which could very well explain the whole Brendan Roadhog situation. I don't know. But Cheryl, I have no idea what you're talking about. Grandmother. I mean, if T-Spiracy went after her, I'm not sure she did, but if she did, I doubt it was because she was a grandmother trying to get gifts for her granddaughter. I would think that T-Spiracy wasn't even thinking of like her matriarchal role in her family when she disagreed or whatever with her. So I could be wrong because, again, like I said, I don't know. I'm just catching up on all this shit. So, oh, Lee, how are you involved in the whole uni tart? Oh, I see how you spelled that. I'm not saying that. Tween drama. What the hell? What? No, tween drama. I don't have my glasses on. Oh, I have them on my head though. Not a good they do me there. Oh, okay. No, it was a post from Mrs. Roadhog that she misrepresented and then would not delete. The grandmother was caught in the middle by accident, but it went so okay. Again, I'm not too invested in that. I mean, especially like if it was a misunderstanding and it's been since resolved whether or not something was taken down, whatever. But it's understood. It sounds like it's understood by all parties that there was a misunderstanding. I'm not too interested in that. I mean, if I sit on Twitter for like 10 minutes, I could probably find like 15 of those spats, those types of spats. This shit with Roadhog and Ren. This seems like some pretty heavy issues going on. That's why I wanted to kind of learn more about it and maybe talk about it. I was sleeping and didn't know anything about it, that I had made a mistake. Well, so, but it sounds like now it's resolved, right? Mrs. Roadhog did delete it and she was just trying to help. Okay, let's not sling mud at the people that were kind of pulled into this, because all of you here, myself included, we've all been pulled into something. We've all, I think, one time or another, found ourselves leaving a comment or tweet something somewhere that we normally wouldn't have been doing had we not been pulled into some other bullshit, right? I mean, I can't be the only one. I know I'm not the only one. So, hey, thanks for becoming a member there, Unicornus. And before anyone wants to give Mrs. Roadhog any shit, again, try to stop and think for yourself for a minute, because I would be exactly like her if I were in her shoes. Whether I thought my man was right or wrong, it wouldn't matter. The public would never know what I was really thinking, okay? The public would think that I got his back and fuck the rest of you. That's exactly you would not think anything else, regardless. And that's, And God help my man who didn't do the same exact shit for me if the roles were changed. So, okay, anyway, so my whole point of that was I don't care what side you're on. If there's something big that went down and I would like, if you have a link and a timestamp, that's it. Because I do want to learn more about this. I mean, if you don't mind. I mean, no one has to. Like I said, I don't have the time to sit through these streams. I really don't. I wish I did. I really do. I should, though, after Christmas again. I hope. You're welcome. I am round, a bear, no side. Word. Well, I'm not a bear. I might be round. I'm not a bear, but no side. I just reminded you of Larry. How did I remind you of Larry David? That's a weird freaking thing to be eating. Larry David. I'm not sure how I feel about that negative. Actually, it's kind of cool. I'm not going to lie. I don't know that word, Jolly Bridge. Did you spell that right? Or... If people are going after my other half, I'll excoriate them in public and him in private if necessary. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay, thank you, Cindy. I will. I'll be sure to do that right after the stream. All right, just trying to catch up here. Oh, wait. Should I have done that? Thank you. Oh, yeah, Peter, I saw that. Thank you. Actually, I got a question about that. I'll wait till after the stream, though. All right, now you're leaving me hanging here with this Larry David shit. Just saying. That's funny. Okay, so what's been going on with Katie? I know she I saw that she did a stream or something tonight. I saw Llama Girl had uploaded it to Twitter. Let me see here. Sorry, I just saw a funny tweet. Word, Irish word. A formal psychology degree. You know, that's what a bartender feels like sometimes. Only it's not a degree, so we just want to tell everyone to fuck off. No. What am I doing? Llama Girl. Is she upload all the clips, or is it just a couple? Oh, it's just going to be Katie talking about her ancestry and shit. Fuck that. I really like Katie's ancestry, just nah, man. I think I'd rather spend the night with murder hornets or something. What? She said that Katie said my mom's fine. I guess I don't believe. Oh, okay. No, I'm sorry. She didn't say that. So okay. Wait, her son. She's saying her son's fully vaccinated. Oh, if you got the Johnson & Johnson, yeah, I guess it would be the case. But the two shot one, you have to wait a month in between shots, and it takes like 3 weeks for the second shot to go into full effect. So you're not fully vaccinated until about 2 months after you get your first shot. So there's no way her son would be fully vaccinated if he had gotten a vaccine that requires 2 shots. But if it was 1 shot, yeah, you would be by now. All right, am I missing anything in your chat? Other than that, I thought I would go and look at. She spent 3 days telling everyone how she is. Yeah, I caught that. So I thought, well, Jesus, that's right. Llama Girls did share one clip I want to play. It's from the other day, though. Okay, yep, here it is. Okay. Damn it.
Okay, so his grandpa was, oh yes, my husband is part Chippewa.
Forgot. I just had them. Where'd they go? Where did my headphones go? God damn it. I just had them around me. Oh, there they are. Okay.
His mother.
Really?
Was half, I think. Half Chippewa? Fourth? I don't even remember. Oh yeah, she tried to be transracial, that's right. Okay, so his grandpa was Chippewa. There is a crazy story about his grandpa too, because his grandpa's house had a fire for some reason. I mean, the fire and something, his like papers or something happened where his tribal stuff got burned, and then his birth certificate got burned or something, and then they redid his birth certificate, and he just put himself as Caucasian, and he removed that he was Native American. So, or Chippewa. So, and we've been trying to figure out how you get connected to, so he has like 0 connections now to the tribe because of how he redid his birth certificate. Oh, your mom was 50%. Okay, sorry. Yeah. Yeah, Todd's 25%. Oh, the government removed it. Okay, so the government removed it, even though his grandpa was like 100% Chippewa. My mother-in-law, who passed away, you could for sure see her, the Chippewa in her. Same with Todd's sister. But it's bizarre because they can't get any connection to the tribe.
Oh, I remembered. Okay. So I thought that something might have been said there because in Llama Girl's tweet, it says, oh, wait a minute. So here's Katie claiming that Todd is Chippewa. Only reason she was hoping that they would benefit financially from this. She even talked about Vaughn getting his college tuition paid because she said Vaughn was an eighth Chippewa. I thought that was interesting because, I mean, is this the same Vaughn that she claims will require won't be able to live on his own, will always require assistance for the rest of his life, could be persuaded into doing like unspeakable things or whatever. But it's awesome though that she's acknowledging that that's not the case, that he's fully capable of going to college and going to college on like grants and scholarships and shit, you know? I mean, that's progress. I'm so happy that she's made progress with this. It makes me happy. Wait a minute, her DNA, didn't she just say that or want to wait, Kate or Kathy, you might be talking about yourself. I don't know. Sorry, my bad. But yeah, I mean, didn't she say somewhere that she's not relying on DNA or whatever because there's not enough of a collection or size of collection of the population that it was, I don't know, that's participated, whatever. Because I didn't quite think that that's how DNA worked. I don't know. Oh, good night, Singer Box. Thanks for being here. Yeah, he had to prove he was indigenous by DNA and his father's family tree. I don't know. I don't know. I hear it's pretty extensive though. To try and claim such heritage, you know, officially or on legal forms or whatever. It wasn't one of my relatives, but it was someone dear to me. I would just say that he had found out that his family was descendant from Harry Hudson or Henry Hudson, whatever the hell his name was, and that he had Native American ancestry. So he tried to get that like certified or established, whatever the word is, because he wanted the ability to hunt and fish year round. So he was obviously unable to do so, which is good. He shouldn't have been. I mean, he's clearly shouldn't benefit from that since he benefited from all like white privilege and everything. So it's good that it's thorough from what I understand. Yes, thank you. Sample size was the terminology. My brain is fried. Like I'm not even physically tired so much. I am, but not like exhausted. It's my brain that's just, I don't know. It needs to shut down for a while. Oh, I'm going to schedule though too tomorrow night. that stream for Ask the Translator that I mentioned last week. I thought about doing it tonight, but like I said, just brain fried. So tomorrow should be good. Let's see. I hope her son receives everything that's owed to him. Well, I'm not sure. Yeah, if anything's owed to them, yeah, absolutely. I'm just not sure what. I don't know. It's one of those things. I feel like I feel like the majority of Americans, their ancestry, their history, whatever, it is a mixed race to some degree, maybe varying various degrees, but I think for the most part, like we all have something. So I just find it kind of exploitative for someone to pick up on that something and run with it for any reason other than parody or satire or irony. What time are you thinking? Well, I have improv class from 6 to 8. So I was thinking about like 9:30, 10 at the latest. Probably like 9:30 though. Because by the time I get home, I don't know. I want to give myself a little bit of time to eat if I want or something, or if I have to get ready or at all. I don't think I will though, because I don't think I'm going to go to improv class without makeup and shit on. So, but yeah, maybe even 9. But it'll be in between 9 and 10. We'll say that. I'll know more. Like I'll end up scheduling it earlier in the day. I'm thinking like early afternoon probably. So by then I'll have a better idea or feel for how my day is going, how my day is going to continue going, and how my evening looks and whatever. No, I'm not trying to be an actor. Improv class came. It was a kind of a spur of the moment thing. This other woman I work with, she had mentioned it to me that she wanted to take the class, but I don't know, she didn't want to. She wasn't sure or whatever. So I'm like, dude, oh my god, I'll do it with you. I'm like, I was pretty much looking for something to just get out and do or something. And I figured, it can't hurt with like the channel, my YouTube channel. It can only help maybe, or nothing, whatever. I'm like, yeah, I'll take it with you. So she sent me the info. I signed up, and then I go to the first class and she's not there. So I'm like, shit, but I stayed. So, and then the first class ended, and now I'm in the second class. But I mean, each class is only like 6 weeks long. So I haven't been doing it for all too long. So, and we only missed like 2 weeks because the teacher got COVID for the first week. And then the second week, I think we had a week off in between class 1 and class 2. So, and the weird thing is too, like one of the requirements for the class is everyone has to be fully vaccinated. Cause I mean, how do you really do improv with a face mask on? It's kind of hard, I think, especially if you're learning it or becoming familiar with it, I think is more the correct term. So, but yeah, so I guess a couple of people got COVID. I didn't, but yeah, that's what that's about. It is fun. It's a lot of fun. I tell you, because like I did a little bit of improv in college. It was just for a college course. And I don't even know. It wasn't even a big course or whatever. It was an elective. Okay. That's my only experience with it. And last week after class, we stayed to watch the house improv team. They were practicing for their show coming up, and they do the long form improv. That was interesting to watch because, you think improv, I think most people, they think improv and they think like, whose line is it anyways? And that's, short form improv, each scene or whatever just goes for like, a few minutes, maybe like 3 minutes, right around there. But the long form improv, man, that goes on for like this. It just goes on and on. I mean, it could go on forever probably, but it was about like 20, 30 minutes, I think. That was interesting to watch. And then when you sit there and you think about like where they started off, like with the suggestion to where they ended up, it's like, wow, man, it's fucking incredible. I'm kind of hoping the son will grow up and sue for defamation and slander. Yeah, I don't see that happening. I mean, think about it. Would you have sued your mother? I mean, yeah, you'd probably be pissed and very, very possibly, and rightfully so, I think. But I mean, I don't think many of us would sue our mother. But then again, we didn't have her as a mother, so who knows? Julian, yeah, I fully agree with that. And I see that, and it's fucking awesome. It is. Normally I read out comments and shit, but I'm going to leave that one alone. Just, I don't. It is, improv is an excellent way for people to become familiarized better with social situations and, other people. And so it's, yeah, absolutely. And what am I missing there? Yeah, I don't see. There's people from a lot of different professions in improv class, but I wouldn't expect to see someone studying business or microbiology. It's funny. John, I think that it's very likely. Figure right around like in between 14 and 16 is when you start to see most kids end up on Reddit for, anonymous questions or whatever regarding their parents or their current living situations. So I'm thinking in about like another 8 years, something, 6 maybe. Yeah, I see CV writing an "Am I the asshole?" post. Absolutely. Or narc and parents. Good night, Mama Bear of One. I know I don't really have a whole lot planned for this stream tonight. I apologize. I was going to record, but I was like, no, I don't want to record tonight. I'll wait and do that tomorrow. Thank you, Podorific. Oh, well, Carrie, they happened here too. There were, I forget, it was some religious sect or whatever that was in charge of these homes in some southern states. Texas was one of them, I know, and I want to say like Georgia or some shit. I don't know. But yeah, that's what would happen. Like, especially like if they were kids that were already wards of the state, then they were, when the girls became pregnant, they were sent to these like Christian Bible homes or whatever, and they're pretty much forced to like live, breathe, and eat the scripture whatever nonsense. And then when they delivered, they just had their like children like stolen from them, and then the organization would just sell them to other families. Crazy. Like I think it was the 90s or something that there's a whole bunch of media that came out about this. Yeah, poverty had a lot to do with it. Yeah, yeah, because like yeah, especially if they were like the young mothers were wards of the state already. Oh, all right. So all the women in here, you want to get mad? You want to get like really angry about shit? This pissed me off. Now, while we're on the subject of politics and whatnot, and no, this is nothing to do with abortion. So don't go making comparisons. It has nothing to do with that. This is not regarding that. This is not regarding examples or situations of that, okay? Just want to make that clear, because I know with hearing this, some people might automatically go there, but no, it's not what this is about. Here it is. US. Okay. So yeah, this is pretty fucked up.
In red states, and in some cases, even blue states like California, are being charged with and even convicted of manslaughter if they suffer from a miscarriage. Now, one of the most recent examples is from the state of Oklahoma, where a woman by the name of Brittany Pula was charged and convicted with manslaughter. Now, Pula was just about 4 months pregnant when she lost her baby in the hospital in January of 2020. This October, she was convicted and sentenced to 4 years in prison for first-degree manslaughter of her unborn son. Now, what's happening across the country is certain states are passing these laws that consider a fetus a human life, right? They're called personhood laws. And what they also do is if a woman suffers from a miscarriage, they will specifically ask whether the woman has taken any illicit drugs. They'll even do tests to ensure that the woman hasn't done illicit drugs. In this case, Pula had in fact admitted to using illicit drugs, and the medical examiner's report did find traces of methamphetamine in her son's liver and brain. Now, it's important though to note that the medical examiner did not determine the cause of death or what actually caused the miscarriage. The examiner did not determine the cause of death for the fetus, noting genetic anomaly, placenta abruption, or maternal methamphetamine use could have been contributing factors. So I'm gonna get into more details about what's taking place. We've covered this story throughout the years, and unfortunately, it's just getting worse. Some of these states have become more and more draconian as this type of story just kind of gets ignored and politicians just kind of let it slide.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to graphic 4 here because I wanna give you a sense of the scale of it. From 1973 to 2020, the National Advocates of Pregnant Women has recorded 1,600 such cases where women are prosecuted in the country for miscarriages, not abortions, miscarriages, with about 1,200 occurring in the last 15 years alone. So this is not an isolated case. It's happening to women all across the country. And then, in fact, here, let me give you an example. Let's go to graphic 6 now. In one California county, 2 women were jailed for allegedly killing their babies after experiencing stillbirths and testing positive for illicit drugs. Murder charges against Chelsea Becker were dropped this year after she spent 1.5 years in jail because she couldn't afford the $2 million bail. Okay.
Yeah.
They dropped the charges. But already she spent 1.5 years in jail.
Believe it or not, out of the 2 California cases, she was the lucky one. The other woman was convicted and is still in prison. Adora Perez is about a third of the way through an 11-year sentence for manslaughter after she pleaded guilty to avoid the harsher charge of murder she's currently trying to appeal. Now, again, this has to do with women who might be addicted to an illicit drug. And as we know, this country is still grappling with an opioid epidemic. The issue has been completely ignored as of late, but it still exists. People are still suffering from this pharmaceutical company fueled epidemic. And
All right, so I see some questions here in chat. So Aaron asks, how do police get the info to charge with HIPAA and place in hospitals and for doctors? Subpoena. It's fucked up, but yeah, I would assume just a subpoena, because like the hospital has to test for shit because they have to know what they're dealing with probably, or the parent, the mother, is going to be worried or concerned and be incredibly honest, as she should be, with the medical team. In which case, just, yeah, all the police really, or all the law enforcement has to do is just, I think, subpoena, really. It's fucked up, but I'll keep playing it, and you're going to hear about other situations where like it doesn't even have to do with drugs. And that's the thing. I mean, illicit drugs. There's some places in the country where pot would still be considered an illicit drug. Now, what are the chances of pot having something to do with the miscarriage? I think it's highly unlikely. However, if a miscarriage happens, the law can put two and two together in their own fucked up minds all they want, and then charge you, and then you're left to deal with their fucking ignorance and the fallout from it, which would be you facing manslaughter charges. It's, even if you disagree with the fact that once a woman gets pregnant, the body is still the woman's and not the fucking baby's. Okay, even if you disagree with that, I mean, you can't agree with the law trying to exploit the fact that the mother maybe smoked pot before she knew she was even pregnant, and now here it is, like 2 months later, she miscarries, and the law's like, oh, well, no, that pot you smoked 2 months ago, that probably did it. There are places now they can absolutely do that. This isn't something like, what if the law will be given the opportunity to do this? Oh no, they have it and they're doing it. It isn't, yeah, it's not possible. Like even in this case that they're talking about with the methamphetamine, the medical examiner came out and said, I don't know, I can't put a cause of death on this. The methamphetamine could have been the cause, or could very well not have been, could have been any of these things. It's a fucking miscarriage. These things happen. That's pretty much the cause of death, but the law still charged her and got a conviction. I think that's what they said, right? Conviction. Yeah. Because I remember reading about this like 2 months ago, I think. Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, if you knew we were pregnant and you're looking forward to the baby, or you've grown to love the idea of becoming whatever, you're going to be going through some pretty heavy shit after that, especially because it doesn't matter. I don't care, man. If you're a woman and you miscarry like that, you're going to be sitting there blaming yourself, thinking, oh my God, maybe I shouldn't have walked up the stairs instead of taking the elevator that time. I mean, you're going to be going through this huge freaking amount of guilt and just thinking that it's your fault for any and every reason. So if you then have a reason that other people are kind of jumping onto, and they're throwing it in your face and taking you to task for it, it's gonna fucking destroy you, man. And on top of that, now you're supposed to go and defend yourself. What? You don't want to defend yourself. When in that state of mind, you're not going to want to defend yourself, because the natural reaction, I think, for any woman would be to internalize the guilt, to take it on, whether it's right for them to do so or not, doesn't matter. They're still going to do that. Who's really in the right state of mind to participate in their own defense at that point? So that's, I don't know. It's my thought anyways. Yep. Yep. Yeah. It's funny, Polarific. I love Anna. I mean, I have a hard time believing that some dude thought that he was going to get a date, though. I mean, everyone knows she's married and shit. And I mean, unless this happened like way back in the beginning when she might not have been married. I don't even know how long she's been married for, actually. But pretty much for as long as I've been watching, I think she has been. Oh, funny you should say that, though, Silver Turtle Lady. Let me go back to the video.
To punish a woman who's pregnant and suffers a miscarriage for it, I think is the wrong way to go. If anything, if a woman is pregnant and happens to be addicted to a drug, you want to create an environment where that woman feels comfortable coming forward, looking for help so she can have a healthy pregnancy. But when you have these types of punitive measures in place, that creates a situation where women are going to be terrified to come forward. They're going to be terrified to look for help when they need it the most.
Okay, and so 2 other important parts of this story. One is it's not just for drugs. In different cases, women have been prosecuted for falling down and having a miscarriage. I'm not joking, I'm not exaggerating. In another case, giving birth at home. But wait a minute, a lot of people give birth at home. Well, no, you should have done it. By the way, the right wing should be furious about that, right? Why is the government making you go to a hospital, right? No, you giving birth at home? Well, we didn't like the way you were giving birth, okay? And it led to a stillbirth. That's it, you're going to prison. You're going to prison for murder. This is insane. Okay, and by the way, unfortunately, in a lot of so-called pro-life countries, this happens. In El Salvador, a woman was sentenced to prison for 30 years for having a miscarriage, and she died in jail. And so now,
it's almost as if these types of laws are not really about preserving life or anything like that. It seems like it's more about punishing women.
Absolutely, but not just women. But you're going to be shocked to find out that women of color are overrepresented. Okay. And I guarantee you, it's not in the articles that we read, but I guarantee you, if you dove into the numbers, the poor would be deeply overrepresented,
yes, exactly.
of any color.
Yep.
Okay, and so how can I prove that? Well, 6% of American pregnant women admit to using illicit drugs. 8.5% drink alcohol. So that's millions upon millions of people. Even if you just took the drugs number, right? Mm-hmm. Did millions of women get prosecuted for this? No, because if a lady from the suburbs has one too many daiquiris, is a judge who's in her same demographic going to say, oh, shame on you, you criminal? You say, I know, but that looks like Susie, who I know, right? Etc. Whereas a woman does drugs and she's poor, you see these poor people, they have no responsibility at all.
And by the way,
I don't really have much issue with the Young Turks and their reporting. I do think they are, when they start giving their opinion on it, their commentary or whatever, I think that they do come off as, what's the word I'm looking for? Not aggressive, combative. They come off, I think, in my opinion, a little too combative, because I think that you should approach things, especially when it comes to debates of ideology. I think it should be approached with, I don't know, more kid gloves or something, more respect, more, I don't know. But I mean, they've also been doing this for a long time. So they're probably to a point where they're just like, they've had enough. They're fed up, whatever. And I do think that they can come off a little cheery for some politicians. I mean, I get supporting them, or at least supporting them more than the other one. I get that. But to be so damn happy about it, I think they're a little too happy about it sometimes. But for the most part, their reporting, I think, is pretty much on. Like, when they started this whole battle between them and Jimmy Dore, because oh my God, I loved Jimmy Dore, and I still kind of like him a little, in certain ways for certain things. But when they started battling with him, like I thought, no way, TYT has this so wrong. There's no way Jimmy Dore went that route. There's no freaking way. And then Jimmy, you could see Jimmy's videos just turn, and he became very, very loud and outspoken about his newfound conspiracy theorist beliefs, I guess you could say. I mean, it's about vaccines and shit like that, but it's more than that. It's about COVID and it's about other things. It's, just like he's flipping the script like entirely, and like I didn't see that at first. They did, So I don't know, and I give Cenk credit about the election in 2016. He called that, like he almost called it right down to the exact number of how's the word? I see my brain is so fried I can't even think. The the people who decide the election there, I don't know. Can't think of the word now, but right down to the number he decided it for the Democrats, for the Republican, which states. He got like every state right from what I recall. Maybe he got one or two a little bit off, but like nobody in the rest of all the media, it came that close. It's ridiculous, and you kind of you have to have a good feel for what the current zeitgeist is in politics to get things that fucking accurate without mounds of data or whatever to analyze. What about faulty sperm causing natural miscarriage? Are they charged? Well, Electoral College. Thank you, negative. Yes, that's delegates. That's what I was thinking. The word delegates. Like he predicted almost down to the number who was going to get what amount of delegates and from which states. I mean, like that's insane. How stress caused from spouses not being supportive? Are they charged for being damn dicks? No, of course not. Because then then the man would have to be charged, wouldn't it? Oh, no. I think that the silver turtle lady, they don't see. I see it differently. I've seen them not begrudgingly, but make a point to point out, facts that wouldn't normally align with their position, but in all fairness, that sort of thing. I have seen them, like when they report the news, they report the facts, and then they go into commentary. That's kind of like their whole format, I guess. The whole commentary part, I'm not 100% there with them. It's like, calm down, slow down a little bit. Let's not get too excited about this fuckery, this bullshit. Come on now, or let's not just take this with such indifference. Get mad. I disagree with them in that regard sometimes, but like the facts of it or whatever, like they give that. And pretty much every media it's all about ideology when it comes to reporting news now. It's ridiculous. But I mean, so long as they, like, the fairness doctrine, I think that's what it was called. Reagan had done away with it in the 80s. And one of the parts of it was it required news for I think it was 30 minutes or something each day, like each cycle or some shit. They were required to report news, report facts, report events without commentary, without opinions. And, so long as they do that first and foremost, then I don't give a shit about the rest of it, really. Oh, really? The government and the UK government logged housework? Oh my God, that's awesome. Well, I mean, at least you got credit for it. I mean, you try to tell people here, in the US, it's a job. People roll their eyes. It is. It's a fucking job. It's for damn sure. I like the Young Turks too. I miss my Jimmy Dore though. Like my sensible Jimmy Dore. I miss. Like he was like where I feel like the Young Turks, they may be like progressive light. Like Jimmy Dore was like, the full version progressive kind of. Or no, not kind of. He was. Now I don't know what the fuck happened. Oh, yeah, I'm going to go back to listen to some of that.
It doesn't even have to be a situation in which the judge or the person making these decisions has a racial bias, right? It could just be that we have a justice system set up that provides better defense for individuals who have the money to buy better defense, right? To get a better attorney.
That's absolutely right, Anna. Like the woman who spent the 1.5 years in jail when they dropped the charges, because she didn't have the $2 million for bail, whereas a wealthy person could have walked the next day, right? But on top of that, judges are biased, honestly, towards upper middle class and upper class defendants because that's who they are. So when they see someone like that, they see, that looks like my neighbor's kid, or that looks like my aunt, or whatever. When they see poor people of any color, they think the criminal class, right? And I think it's mainly subconscious. I'm not saying all judges are bad people, but that's what you saw, for example, in the Stanford rape case. Oh, the guy lost a swimming scholarship. Isn't that punishment enough? There, but for the grace of God goes that judge's kid. So in this case, guys, there's also the issue of drugs. They used to call them crack babies when everybody was demagoguing about this, and they took it out on minorities mainly. But now we have OxyContin. So now it's across all races, right? But are wealthy and middle class white women being punished at the same rate if they're addicted to drugs while they're pregnant? No way that's happening.
Yeah,
okay.
And just to be super, super clear, no one, regardless of their race, regardless of their economic background, should be prosecuted like this if they suffer a stillbirth or a miscarriage. I mean, that is a traumatic thing for a woman to go through. You want to create an environment where women feel comfortable coming forward, seeking help if they are addicted to drugs. This is just meant to punish women, much like many of the anti-abortion laws that have already passed in red states are meant to do. Just punish women for their sexual activity. In this case, punish women for any activity that could have maybe contributed to a miscarriage.
Guys, they're taking over control of your bodies. It's not at all an exaggeration. One of our members, of course, came in, Ice Cream and Cake, said we get a little closer to living the real version of Handmaid's Tale every day. And it's in this case, it really is true, because that means the minute you get pregnant, you've lost complete control over your body, okay? Because not just because of abortion, but because of miscarriage. So, wait, you know what? You were 3 months pregnant, you drove too fast, got into a car accident. You shouldn't have driven 65, you should have driven 55. That hurt the fetus. Now, your life is not important, okay? We'll put you in prison. And one of the women that you see there, 11 years. We'll take away your life, your liberty. We'll take away anything we want because you're our chattel, okay? But the baby inside you, hey, that might be a male, that might be boy. So the baby's important, but it's, by the way, it's not a baby, it's a zygote in a lot of these cases. The fetus, the embryo is important. Your life, your body, your freedom is not at all important. And that's exactly what message the government is sending. And in this case, it's only the right wing. The right wing is saying women do not deserve to control their bodies. They should not have the same freedoms that men do, and it's disgusting. Thanks for watching the Young Turks. Really appreciate.
It's actually not just the right wing. It's not. like he brought up there, he brought up there, like if you deliver at home, and like you can, it's one thing to want to do what you can to try, if you know, or if you realistically believe that there's a situation happening in real time where it could result in a stillbirth. It's one thing to make a move to try to prevent that. But if it's already happened, if it's, gone that way, to then say the mother should be charged, like, I get the anger, I do, and I do not. I support home birthing when the situation provides for it to likely be done with a reasonable expectation of safetiness. Anything above and beyond that, I think, is kind of fucked up. But still, if you're going to start, bottom line is that I hate it's a fetus. It's not a person. If you're going to start pushing and calling, saying this person should be charged, not because like in this case of home births, like it or not, these women were stupid. Okay, they were stupid, and you would be more or less pushing for charges and conviction, pushing for punishment for being stupid. I mean, these women aren't vindictive. They're not vengeful. They don't hate their unborn child. They're not hoping that shit like this happens. They truly believe that everything's going to be fine. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be magical. And their bond is going to be better than ever. They're stupid. So I don't really support charging and punishing people because they're fucking stupid. But a lot of people on the left do. It's weird. I think it was the fairness doctrine negative. Let me look that up. Yeah, okay. A former federal policy in the U.S. requiring television and radio broadcasters to present contrasting viewpoints on controversial issues of public importance. Wait a minute. Yes, maybe I had it backwards. Maybe they didn't get rid of the fairness doctrine, but they enacted it. Wait a minute. Oh, no, it was abolished in 1987 by the deregulators of the FCC, who deemed it outdated, misguided, and ultimately unfair. Its demise left responsibility for fairness entirely to the media. The fairness doctrine grew out of an early regulation of the radio industry. Why was the fairness doctrine was important? Why was it important? The FCC introduced in 1949 was a policy that required the holders of broadcast licenses both to present controversial issues of public importance and to do so in a manner that was, in the FCC's view, honest, equitable, and balanced. So yeah, when was it 87? When they abolished it, they left the sole responsibility of policing on the media. So they were then tasked with burdened with the task of policing themselves, because that always works so well. Yes, addiction is a disease, yes. And like there's been studies and shit done where like you can I don't know if this is peer reviewed or whatever, but there's studies and there's a whole theory and everything that's been discussed and starting to become widely accepted, where it's a disease not to the extent to where it becomes a disease through doing drugs and becoming addicted, but it's showing up as a disease before addiction even starts. I mean, like we've all heard, like if our parents were addicted or were addicts, then we're more likely to be or whatever. But I think in large part that was the case more or less because of of nurture rather than nature. But now they're finding that they can actually see the disease before the addiction starts. So it's not about nurture, because you can't see the signs of nurture, like through a medical test, like imaging or some shit, you know what I mean? Whatever. But I guess they're seeing signs of it, like physically. So it's signs of nature. I don't know. I don't know the specifics of it, but this has been like a new thing discussed about. But even if you're not quite sold on that, and I'm not quite sold on it either. I find it's an interesting theory, and it's when I'm reading about it up until this point, it's interesting. But so even if you're not sold on that, or you're not interested really, or you don't find it interesting, it's still, it is a disease. It is. It's, like it's not just a disease because it affects you physically. It affects you in every way, like emotionally, mentally. It's a part of your culture in a lot of cases. It's, it's a fucking disease. I don't know if there have been any cases like that, really. And I know what they were reporting here, where I forgot how he said that the person had miscarried. Fuck, I forgot how it was. It was an accident or something. I forgot that kind. I forget what it was. But yeah, the woman, I think I don't remember if he said she was convicted. Again, brain fried. Okay, sorry. But there have been cases, there have been instances where there have been convictions of miscarriages, basically, for reasons that didn't have anything to do with drugs. Yeah. What about partners that abuse women and cause miscarriage? The woman would still be charged because she should have known better. She should have somehow put her baby ahead of her own whatever fucked up brainwashing she's experienced for God knows how long before the pregnancy. She should have just immediately just broken out of that whole whatever, had her eureka moment and put her kid first and gotten the fuck out of that situation, no matter how bad he threatened her life or whatever else. Or no matter how bad he threatened to win custody of the baby after it was born and kill it on her or some shit like that. She should have left. It's her fault. It's exactly how it will play out. It definitely won't be the man's fault. I don't know if I'd call Chink an idiot. He's kind of a dork at times, but totally, yeah, I hear you. If they were, it wouldn't be a thing though. If men were were in any way at risk of ending up in jail, let alone convicted for the same shit that the women are, then it would just very quickly not even be a thing. It'd be forgotten. It'd be dropped. I don't know. Do men do anything though? I mean, like you say, men do nothing wrong. Duh. I think it's more like just men do nothing. I'm kidding. A little. A woman had miscarried, and the medical examiner could not determine the cause of the miscarriage. He said it could have been, genetic. It could have been placenta rupture, or could have been methamphetamine. Said, I don't even think that was methamphetamines even found in her system. I want to say that they only found it like in the baby's liver or something like that. Like they didn't even find it in her. I want to say, I'm not positive, But I never heard if they found it in her. I just heard about the baby's liver. So anyways, the medical examiner said, I can't give you a cause of death. Just, it's a miscarriage. These things fucking happen. But the government charged the mother and she was convicted. Oh, and she was only like 4 months? I mean, it's not like she wasn't even like 9 months or something. It was nowhere near viability. So. But yeah, I'll put a link to the video. Because discussing this, I played a video by a news clip, the Young Turks. There's a video I just watched like the other day. It made me mad. I almost did a stream about it that night. Something came up, I don't remember what. So there you go. There's a link if you want to watch it, or anyone coming in or whatever just now wants to watch it. Yeah, it's the thing. Like, these aren't even cases that these aren't even just cases that have to do with illicit drug use or drug use. Period. They have to do with just like, I don't even. Why can't I'm drawing a blank at the other case he mentioned. Our medical examiners, mandatory reporters, feel free to use. No, not in this case. They're not. Well, they are mandatory reporters, but not when it comes to miscarriage, because they can only report on behalf of people, like established people, and if the fetus has not been born, then it is not considered a person under most state laws. But apparently, from the sounds of it, some states are now developing these personhood laws, which apply to every fetus, regardless of which stage of development. It could be the first trimester. The mother could not even know she's pregnant yet, and these personhood laws would apply. Which I think is crazy, because out of all the women here listening who had been pregnant before, how many of us, and how often, how many times have we had a drink or something else when we didn't even know we were pregnant? Like, this has happened, I think, for a lot of women, like a lot, often, whenever this situation pretty much presented itself, for the most part, whether it's a glass of wine or whether it was a line of Coke, whatever. If you don't know you're pregnant and you're not trying to become pregnant, and you just have no reason to think that you are pregnant, for the most part, you're not going to act like you're pregnant. You're going to act like you're not. So you're going to make choices like that. And so basically what this is saying is every one of those cases where a miscarriage does happen to occur at some point down the road, whether it's 2 months after finding out you're pregnant, whether you could have fucked around or whatever when you were 6 weeks pregnant, found out you were pregnant like 2 weeks later, stayed clean for like the next 2 months, and then miscarried. And if law enforcement catches wind of this, you could find yourself being charged yourself. That's crazy. That's fucking nuts. Mm-hmm. And it's a very slippery slope, but that's the thing. It's like, this isn't a law that's going to lead us to the slippery slopes. We're already there. Like, we've already slipped right down the slope. Like, we just keep going lower at this point. I mean, Yeah, exactly. Just saying. I mean, my first pregnancy, I think I drank a lot that first month, Well, not a lot, but about as much as any like 20-year-old drinks, pretty much, which might be a lot. But yeah, I didn't know, and when I found out, I stopped. Whatever. Luckily, my son was born, perfect. Now he's just a smart ass, but yeah, some foods are. Yeah, okay. What if? Again, I know it's the what ifs or whatever. Um, but there's the thing with cat litter. I mean, it's very uncommon still. I mean, it seems like that this is a warning that I think is just a little too hyped up. But I mean, hey, if it's a warning, it's there because the chance, regardless of how small it actually is, it still exists. But there's that whole thing of toxic plasma, whatever it's called, from changing cat litter, or no, from cat urine or feces or something like that when you're pregnant. And I want to say that can cause a miscarriage um, or a stillbirth even. So what if just owning a cat can land you in jail because you miscarried from being, while pregnant? It's crazy. Yeah, so it's a wine. My daughter's a smart ass too. See, yeah. Yeah, someone asked in chat here. I forget who it was, but they had asked a few minutes ago. They were curious to see like how many of these cases or whatever are single women, single pregnant women or unmarried, unwed pregnant women rather, and like how many of them have devoted, loving partners or husbands as partners, like not even white. I'm guessing wives as partners would still be considered like single in a lot of people's eyes or whatever. But how many of the cases are from women who've miscarried, who've had seemingly loving, devoted husbands at home? Like how many of those miscarriages results in charges? Yeah, the shit in Texas is crazy negative. And this is the thing. I mean, you can disagree with abortion all you want. You can argue against all you want. That's your right. And, and I fully support that. But that doesn't give you a right to my body or to make choices with my body. If you come across me and you and I are very different points of view regarding abortion, well, then just be sure that we don't have sex, I guess. So that way it never becomes an issue for you. It's just, we all still, well, don't all still have that choice, but should anyways. I read it was a Facebook post, it was a few years ago. It was a mother, she's talking about she had a few sons. And she was raising them with this concept where it's completely and entirely on them, the responsibility of if a woman gets pregnant, because it's their sperm. They put their sperm places. The girl can't get pregnant if they don't put the sperm there. So it's your shit. Keep track of your shit. Keep your shit to yourself. If you don't, or if a girl gets pregnant, it's because you didn't keep your shit to yourself. I like that concept. Okay, on that note, I'm going to wrap this up though. It's been a while, and I just got a message. Apparently, the dog is starting to act up like she wants to go out, so I have to go take the dog out. So, yeah. So it'll be in between 9 and 10 tomorrow. I will do that stream tomorrow night. I will set it up though, schedule it earlier in the afternoon. So definitely by mid to late afternoon, look for this, the ad or whatever, I don't know, the post. John, that's funny. Would a law about men's privates be called a penis precedent? It's funny. Okay. All right. So yes, look for that tomorrow, and I will see you all tomorrow night. Good night, everyone. Thanks for being here.